about what's happening with you and other people. See? You won't be, this is the archetype of awareness. You will not be very aware of what's happening in your environment. You know, there are a lot of people who are surprised when their spouse walks out. They didn't notice anything wrong. See? Well, that's because this wasn't receiving any fuel. If this is receiving fuel, one is very aware of the dynamics of everything and everybody around. See? Okay, what else would you say?
Staying in therapy forever, would that be one way to...
That would be one way. See, if you don't have this fuel, that means you have to have somebody else be your magician. See? Well, she says hypochondria. That would be not being able to figure out what all these physical symptoms are about. That is to say, people tend to somaticize when they're not very aware psychologically. So that's a very subtle point. You see that? That is, you'll find that people who are not very psychologically aware, whose magician is not getting enough fuel, they will just have a lot of body symptoms. Nothing's wrong in my life, but I just have all these bodily symptoms. That's what they call in the literature somatization. And what about a person who's not having the lover fueled? Yes.
Sexual dysfunctions like impotence or frigidity?
She says sexual dysfunctions like impotence or frigidity. Absolutely. It's very interesting to work with people who are living their life as if this was not even a configuration in their psyche. It's very interesting. You know, there are many, many marriages that make no place at all for the lover configuration, and it gets no energy by either part of the couple. In fact, they come into therapy and they'll often say, "Well, I just don't know what's wrong. I just don't guess I know how to be a lover." And the thing that always fascinates me is when they get an extramarital relationship going, they learn awfully fast. Take a crash course in this. But this is an excellent point. There's just no energy going into that. The person is completely tone deaf about buying flowers. They can't buy flowers. They can't go away for the weekend. They can't get a lock on their bedroom door. It's just amazing. They can't think of any of those things. Any other expressions of this? There are a lot of expressions of this, yes.
Isolation.
Now, how would isolation be an expression of not having that fueled?
Just the person keeps withdrawn.
Yeah. In other words, if this is being fueled, the person is enthusiastic about the world. And they're going out to it. If this is not being fueled by any archetypal energy, the poet in the person won't be online. See? They won't be feeling poetically about anybody or anything. The writer in them won't be online. You know. What else?
A love object, choosing someone who cannot respond somehow. Maybe going after a marriage person.
Okay, now that's interesting. She says bad choice of a love relationship, or perhaps going after someone that's already involved in another relationship. It would be an example of that because a lot of the time, if a person has Oedipal conflicts, this is an example of someone who is very conflicted about this. They're afraid to put much energy into this. And what they will do is they'll be so insecure about this that they will always arrange to be with people that won't really challenge them much. They always go with, quote, safe people, married people. You know, they think that they won't get a divorce. You know, they think that the other person won't get a divorce. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Don.
Somebody say boredom.
No, but that's a wonderful example. Boredom. That is, if your lover is getting any fuel, any archetypal energy, then you're never bored with things. Things are exciting to you. You are constantly interested in things. And the world is more like the garden, see, for you. I mean, it's a delightful place. And you just wish you had 4 or 5 more lifetimes so you could enjoy everything. See? Yes.
I don't know if I'm understanding this correctly, but it seems to me that at least for a given period of time, people who aren't getting enough archetypal energy could look like they're getting too much.
Yeah.
And that's compensatory kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. She says that a lot of the time, due to the compensatory dynamics in the psyche, a person that's not getting enough would look like they're getting too much energy. That's right. See, one of the things you got to look at in this is that wounds in one's narcissism can result in either too much fueling or not enough. And so the pathology will express itself in different forms. And the goal, of course, in what we've talked about is spirituality, certainly from a Jungian point of view, is to have contact with these energies for life, but have contact with them in a way that fuels and serves life and doesn't destroy life, doesn't disintegrate the personality, doesn't lead them to have to act out, but enables them to have enough of this energy so that life can be full and life can be joyful. I think we're out of time. I want to thank you, and I'll stick around a little while if you want to discuss this further. Thank you very much. Thank you.